Have you heard about this quote by Ansel Adam? You don't take a photograph, you make it. Whether you have or you haven't, let's take a moment to think about in this video. In my previous video, I introduced my new camera, which is also my first ever 8x10 film camera. So I took it out into my favorite place in nature, sand dune. So these sand dunes are a very special place for my photography. So far, I made my first scene with photograph. I made it here, and also it changed my photography a lot in a positive way. So when I started sand dune, I visited this place quite a lot, sometimes 3 times a week. It takes 5 hours return to get to this place for me. Whenever I get to the place, I get really amazed by its vibe and landscape. It is such a beautiful place if you like the nature landscape. But when I came back home after every visit and review all the photos were nothing really more than documentary snap photos. It doesn't have that feeling, it doesn't have that vibe, it doesn't have that warmth of light and the feeling of it. So that was a time I saw this quote: you don't take a photograph, you make it. And I spent lots of time thinking about what does it mean, and I want to talk about those in this video. So firstly, this quote is not about photo editing. It's not about you need to post-processing on computer like Photoshop and make something out from editing. It's about on location while you're shooting. You have to work at capturing great shots. Spend time watching your subject. Observe light. So after that day, I start to spend more time watching each subject. Try to read the light. Try to find a composition that I want to tell the story. Obviously I shoot less, but I start to make photographs that I wanted. Many times I set up my camera, try to think about what kind of composition I want to make it on that location. After half an hour, after 1 hour, ended up not shooting sometimes. So friends of mine asked me, did you shoot? No. Why? Because I feel like my composition is not good enough. I'm not sure what I want to make photograph. I don't know what I want to tell from this photo. I cannot make better. I don't know what to do. That was after 30 minutes of try to figure out what I want to do on the same spot. Another point of this quote gave me is to spend time learning about your gear. You need to know how to use your gear. You don't want to waste your time figuring out how to do certain things on location.
Like a candle, I just burn away.
So for example, for large format, you need to know the movement, how to use, but also why you're moving, that movement. You need to spend time studying and practicing about movement. Practice, and practice so you can use proper movement based on what you want to tell on location.
I don't wanna waste it on anybody. Take it with anybody but you.
So of course my 8x10 camera has lots of knobs for setting up and also making a movement. I tried to get used to all those knobs home for the last few weeks before I went to location. So which means I can fully focus on making photograph rather than figuring out how to use my camera on location. So I spent whole day in sand dunes and shot 2 sheets of black and white on the day.
You are brighter all the time. And I don't wanna waste it on anybody. Take it with anybody but you.
Sometimes you need the inspiration. It can be a book, it can be someone else's photo, and it can be traveling somewhere. During my center project, the Ansel Adam's quote, "You don't take a photograph, you make it." This quote was my inspiration. Have you heard about this quote before? Do you have any other different opinion, or do you have any other quote that you want to recommend to everyone else? If you do, leave me a comment, and hope you enjoy this video, and I'll see you in the next video.